This food back home is an official, it's a special meal prepared usually during weddings, special traditional ceremonies, when you have a special guest like your in-laws or other special guests visiting. This will be the right food to cook. And it's it's of high significance to the Cameroonians, and most of the tribes in Cameroon actually use this food as their special food. Hello everyone, welcome to Consistence Place channel. Today I am bringing to you one Cameroonian delicacy, Egusi pudding. We are using our egusi, we call it egusi, the melon seeds harvested from pumpkins, and then we crack those. I got this one from Cameroon, but if you live in the United States and you don't have the ones from Africa or from Cameroon, don't worry, just get yourself into any Spanish or Hispanic grocery store and you see these green ones on their shelf, and you can get those. I've been using those to make my egusi pudding and it always turns out well, so you can as well try that. So our ingredients right here, I have 6 cups of melon seeds. I have dried smoked meat that I have already cut off, pre-boiled, seasoned. Then I have 2 eggs. These are optional. I use a large onion, and I'm gonna use 3 hot peppers. Some people add crayfish, but I don't. I put seasoning salt. I use the Knorr, and some salt to taste. I always blend it in my wet blender. That way I have to wash my egusi because it has been preserved from Cameroon and all the handling. I just feel like I have to wash my egusi, so I'm going to blend them wet. So at the same time, vegetable oil is optional. I just add it maybe for the presentation or something like that. So I'm going to be rubbing this with banana leaves. If you live in the US, I got this from Hispanic stores. They are frozen banana leaves. These have been in the freezer. Alternatively, I have other methods that I use to tell. I'm going to be showing you. I use either aluminum foil with sandwich bags. I go for the small sandwich bags where I just pour in my content and then wrap them up in the aluminum foil. So I'm going to use all the methods to wrap so you can see how I do my egusi pudding. For the meat or the proteins, you can add dry fish. Some people add dry chicken, dry everything, or any meat of your choice. I usually prefer this dried pork meat. I pre-boil it, and I'm going to be using that stock to blend my egusi to add that taste to it. So I just wash the egusi, get out the dirt. So right here I have my egusi, my melon seed, my hot pepper, my egg, and an onion, and what I'm going, and the stock that I poured in there. And if your stock is not enough, just feel free to add water till same level and then blend. So my trick I just pour my seasoning salt into the blender and blend so that I don't use too much time mixing. And I'll add about a teaspoon of salt. That's half a tablespoon. And then I blend that so I don't have a lot of mixing when I'm done blending. So after blending, I just pour my content into the bowl. If you wonder why I am using the sink today, it's just because I'm by the window. It's snowing outside and it's so bright. I want to use that natural lighting, and that's why I'm using the sink today, because I'm right by the window. So I've blended all this in the blender. You saw me adding the egg, onion, hot pepper, seasoning salt, and salt. So right now, after blending, all I do, I like that consistency. That's how I'm going to leave my. I just add my meat, my pre-prepared meat, mix that up. And it's optional. You can leave it without the extra oil, or you can always put a little drop, just a drop of that. And this drop will just help it to not stick to the leaves and comes out. So you just, after mixing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and tie. Just line my pot with aluminum foil, and then put some water underneath, and then set it on fire so that once I start tying, I'll be putting into the boiling pot. So I already washed my leaf, warmed my leaf in the microwave. They were frozen. Right now I'm just going to wipe them off, and then line my pan with aluminum foil like you see, and then just put the leaf inside. Even if the leaf perforates, it's gonna meet the aluminum foil, and then my pot will not be messy. I'm just gonna scoop out the egusi pudding, a scoop of it, place it in there, and then tie that up. Then wrap that up I mean, you can do it as you want, but I just try to make sure I contain it in the lid as much as possible. And then follow up with my aluminum foil. Make sure I seal it well with the aluminum foil. Seal it so that water cannot get in there. See that? Put that in the pot. And then I just set that in the pot. But pot's already boiling. Another method is to use the sandwich bag just in case you don't have leaves. You're just going to fill in the sandwich bag. In this case, I'm just going to put, it's tricky and messy sometimes. So seal that, seal the Ziploc sandwich. If it's not a Ziploc sandwich, just make sure you seal it up or tie it if it's not a sandwich bag that it can be tied. Then wrap it up in your aluminum foil. Wrap up the plastic in your aluminum foil. Same thing. Seal it and put it in the pot. So this is the last one. Just put that into the boiling pot. Figure out a way to add that into the boiling pot. Then you're gonna boil this for about 2 hours. Time is falling. So each time you're adding water, make sure you're adding the water at the corners. And you boil for 2 hours, occasionally opening and adding water to. So it's 5:46 p.m. Our pot has been boiling for quite some time now, about 2 hours. I'll just throw in some bobolo there that will accompany the egusi. It has been boiling. I mean, at this point you can eat it if you want, but I usually just want to cook mine for two complete full hours. So just cover it again and let it boil. Our egusi pudding is ready. I'm going to open it up now. This is the leaf. See, our egusi is ready. There we go. That's it. So just gonna cut that and see how that looks inside that. See, our egusi is ready to be eaten. This is called bobolo and it's made from cassava base. It's a snack they eat in Cameroon too. They eat it with egusi pudding. It's also a street food. So I'm going to be serving my egusi pudding with this bobolo. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching right to this moment. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. And see you in our next video.